you guys remember, back in 2020, they stole an election. And they're doing it again. And what's crazy is you won't see any of this on the mainstream media. It's not going to show up there. Please, please, please share this video. Get it out there. People don't know this is going on.
Passwords for Colorado's voting systems were posted online for anyone to see for months.
I did not give you permission.
Building. It's a public building.
Doesn't matter. I didn't give you permission to film me.
It's a public building.
Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold's office apparently posted them online by accident.
Yeah, they cut the line at 145.
They cut the line at 145.
They found Kimberly Zapata guilty on 1 count of felony count of misconduct in office and 3 counts of election fraud.
Issues of duplicate handwriting matching other voter registration forms in the batches, inconsistent signatures with what is on the file in the SURE system, unverifiable and or accurate addresses, an inaccurate driver's license or social security number verification.
But I'm an Irish citizen, I'm not.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you have some citizenship here?
With the work visa, yeah.
Listen, we'll let you do it.
They launched an investigation, but not before 3 of the stolen ballots had already been counted. Those ballots cannot be retrieved, and the votes will count.
What we see here is someone voted in your name for a midterm primary, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 presidential elections. You're saying you did not vote in.
I have never voted in a midterm. I have never voted in another presidential election. This is all a lie. So I am so upset.
And they're doing it again. And what's crazy is you won't see any of this on the mainstream media. It's not going to show up there. I get all my information from my X app, right? Formerly Twitter. And the stories are coming out so fast, I can't keep up with them all. Have you guys heard about the ballot boxes all over the country that are being lit on fire?
Probably not.
Have you heard about SCOTUS's rule 6-3?
This is a big one.
This is a big one. Youngkin started taking non-citizens off the voter rolls in Virginia, and the DOJ sued to stop them.
Sued to keep non-citizens on the voter roll.
26 states joined with Virginia and trying to get a stay, and today the Supreme Court 6-3 said you can't keep them on the rolls.
Oh, so that's why our borders are failing. I get it now.
Not only did the DOJ stop them from taking off the rolls, the DOJ wanted to put non-citizens back on the voter rolls. You can't make this stuff up. Guys, our country is in so much trouble. And if you haven't heard, there's been many people that believe that if we lose this election, that it'll be the last election our country ever sees, because the Democrats have brought in 20 million new voters, which is why they're trying to steal this vote. The voter fraud that is going on right now all over America is insane. You truly can't make this up. We could literally sit here all day and just take clips and show you guys clip after clip after clip. Most of the irregularities are happening in the swing states, right? We've already shared a few stories with you guys. But what's going on in Colorado, babe?
Oh, Colorado's a hot mess.
The Secretary of State says at least a dozen mail ballots were stolen, filled out, then mailed back in. Good evening, I'm Mikaela Way.
And I'm Michael Spencer. Your political reporter Sean Boyd is here with more on what is now a criminal investigation. So Sean, how was this discovered?
Through the state's signature verification system. 3 of those voters whose ballots were stolen received a notice and alerted the clerk's office to fraud. Another voter contacted the office after learning from the state's ballot tracking system that their ballot had been turned in by someone else. Some of them appeared to be signed by the same person. They launched an investigation, but not before 3 of the stolen ballots had already been counted. Those ballots cannot be retrieved, and the votes will count, but the 3 voters will receive new ballots.
Passwords for Colorado's voting systems were posted online for anyone to see for months, if you knew where to look. Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold's office apparently posted them online by accident. Griswold's office found out last Thursday and had not told the county clerks who actually run elections. Then the Colorado Republican Party went public today, demanding that Griswold secure those voting machines.
Are you kidding me? It's just wild to me to think that what used to take place in one day. We knew who the president was by what?
That night.
Yeah, midnight, or depending on what time zone you're in. But
right.
You knew that night.
Right. And so they are supposed to be getting IDs. They're not taking IDs.
Did they ID you?
No ID. They asked me for my address. Interesting. Just an address is all you need.
That's it. Only that's
The authority to film me. I did not give
It's a
you
public
permission.
building. It's a public building.
Doesn't matter. I
It
didn't
does
give
matter.
you permission to film me.
It's a public building. The sheriff
Our
just let me
sign
in.
outside
The sheriff just let
says
me
you're
in.
not to film.
Says who? What's the law? What's the law that I can't film? I'm not at that table getting anybody's personal information. He agrees with me, they agree with me, and the entire line agrees with me. No, it's not. It is, bro. This is a public building. It is the First Amendment right.
no ID. That's
No
what's going
ID.
on. No ID.
It looks like anybody's voting. Some parts of the country, they're finding fraudulent votes in boxes. Lancaster, that just happened.
Our staff uncovered apparent incidents of attempted voter registration fraud here in Lancaster County. Through the staff's normal review process, as many as 2,500 completed voter registration forms are being researched for potential fraud stemming from 2 separate drop batches by individuals. At that time, staff contacted the district attorney's office and members of the Board of Elections. This includes issues of duplicate handwriting matching other voter registration forms in the batches, inconsistent signatures with what is on the file in the SURE system, because some of these or many of these are duplicates, unverifiable and or accurate addresses, an inaccurate driver's license or social security number verification.
And Rasmussen just reported that one voter ID has voted 24 times in the last few days up in Michigan. So it's rampant, it's happening. We thought it could never happen again. It's happening again right below our noses. You won't hear any of this on the mainstream media.
What we see here is someone voted in your name for a midterm primary, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 presidential elections. You're saying you did not vote in.
I can tell you, and I'm a bad. I can tell you, I'm a bad patriot. The first time I got involved in politics was President Trump. That's my first presidential election. I have never voted in a midterm. I have never voted in another presidential election. This is all a lie. I am so upset.
You're going to have to go to small citizen journalists to find out this information. I'm going to highly suggest, guys, if you want what's going on real time, download the X app. Follow the RV Odd Couple on there, and you guys will be blown away because citizen journalism is why this country is starting to wake up. The mainstream media won't tell you the truth. And if you have a camera in your hand, a phone, you are a citizen journalist. You see something that's weird, report it. Take a video of it. Hide your camera if you have to.
You voted in the election in January of last year?
The presidential. Yeah.
And did you register?
No, I wasn't registered either.
Are you registered now?
Oh, I never filled anything out. No.
Okay, then I can't see how you can vote because you're not registered.
Remember, I do remember him.
Okay.
Remember, we was allowing anyone to come in.
We was allowing anybody to come in, and they say
presidential.
Yeah, during the agenda, they just let us.
Okay. I'll let you fill out a ballot now. Whether or not it's going to be, they're going to count it, I don't know.
But I don't know if it works because I'm an
does work.
But I'm an Irish citizen. I'm not.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you have some citizenship here?
With the work visa, yeah.
Listen, we'll let you do it. They'll figure that out.
The brand new one, yeah. There's not many new ones.
Yeah, the only time I am seeing these stories on the mainstream news is when they're localized. And I don't see local news in other states, right? I barely see local news in the state I'm in. And so it's just one of those ways that we're not getting all the information. I wish they would show this more on a national level, because when you put all the pieces together, it's alarming.
They found Kimberly Zapata guilty on 1 count of felony count of misconduct in office and 3 counts of election fraud. The former Milwaukee County elections worker admitted she ordered fake ballots to prove flaws in the election system. She said she never wanted them processed. Closing arguments wrapped up this morning, and the prosecutor said Zapata used her position to commit fraud.
She brought to light the situation by lying on these applications, by having these fraudulent ballots issued. That's not blowing the whistle on the problem, that's aggravating the problem.
She could face 5 years in prison. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Christina Van Zelst, Fox 6 News.
But remember, guys, the mainstream media has controlled the narrative in our country as long as I've been alive. They always tell you what the lead stories are. People are starting to wake up all over the country because of small citizen journalists like us that report what they see.
Why is it closed?
Let me explain it to you.
Please.
Okay. This process is very slow and grueling.
That doesn't matter if we're online.
Very slow and grueling.
Doesn't matter if we're online by 4:30. We have the right to
why
vote.
it had to close was because a high volume of people wanted to do this. Slow and grueling.
Well, then they
So
have to wait till
to-
everyone's.
They had to cut the line at 1:45.
They cut the line at 1:45.
1:45.
You hear that, everyone? They cut the line at 1:45.
Here's your.
This is voter fraud, by the way. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Guys, if you have a camera on your phone, you are a citizen journalist. And I believe that you have an obligation, a moral duty to record and report something you see if it's not right.
Yeah, so please help us, help the whole country, guys. This can't happen again. They stole the last election. I won't be shocked if YouTube censors or shadow bans this video. If you remember, back in 2020, for 2 years, YouTube would not allow you to talk about election interference in the last election, right? That's how bad it's gotten. X, and thank God for Elon Musk, he allows citizen journalists to report. So when we say upload onto social media, I mean upload to X. That's the only guaranteed place where it's going to get out to people. Facebook's going to shadow ban, Instagram's going to shadow ban, all of them. They shadow ban, they censor. X does not. So follow us on X, RV Odd Couple on X, formerly known as Twitter. Please, please, please share this video. Get it out there. People don't know this is going on. And vote. Everybody's got to vote. Make sure you vote. And make sure your vote counts.
We'll see you in the next video.